Hey everyone, welcome. So it's a new season and I've got a ton of grays that have come in over the past few months. If you guys have been watching my channel, you know that this summer was crazy for me. And the last time I hennaed, I think was at the beginning of June. So it is definitely time. I've got little ones popping up on my temples and my crown area especially is where I seem to get them the most. And as you can see, they are stark white, so they really stand out against my dark hair. This gives you a look at what my hair looks like with the glow of the henna in indoor lighting. You can't see it most of the time, you just see my natural dark hair. But this is what the color looks like in indoor lighting. You can kind of see the undertones, the auburn colors in the overall length of my hair. And in the sunlight, it's really, really noticeable. On my grays that are dyed, it looks like little fiery highlights throughout, which is really, really pretty. And my hair does not do well with commercial dyes. So this is a great benefit, not only to color my hair, but henna also helps to strengthen my curl pattern. I have been wearing a lot of protective styles this summer, and I have some pieces that are a little bit looser. So the henna not only colors, but helps to improve the elasticity of my hair as well. Using the Curly Proverbs henna. I don't like this one, you guys. I am not a fan. I am so excited. This is my last bag of this. This is the henna and aloe mask. The color is not as intense as the other one I'm going to be using. I have just a little bit left and then I'm all done. Now this one is my love. This is the Curly Proverbs Pro Strength henna. I have a few bags, but I definitely need to restock. This is the only one I'm going to be ordering from now on to color my hair. This one is a lot smoother and rinses nice and clean, whereas this one leaves little weirdos that you're going to see in this video. So we are going to be using both of those. I've got my spoon, my bowl, and my boiling hot water. I use about 2 cups. First, I'm going to use this. I had a lot more than I anticipated, which I was not happy about, but again, happy to be using this up. It just leaves so many little particles in my hair a week after the henna application. But this one, on the other hand, is so much smoother. The color is more intense. It rinses so nicely, much more effortlessly, and the color seems to last and be a little bit more noticeable. So you'll see, comparing the two powders, the subtle differences. The henna and aloe mask has henna, aloe, fenugreek powder, and aloe vera powder, which might be the culprit of why those little things don't rinse out. But as you can see, the Pro Strength has a slight greenish tint to it. It's a lot smoother, but I make sure to incorporate both of those powders before adding in my boiling hot water. I add a little bit at a time so as not to make a mess when I am combining the liquid and the powders. Now, I've been using my sad little spoon to do this for like 3 years, but of course you can use an immersion blender, a whisk, whatever you need to make it a little bit easier. But I add a little bit of water at a time and then mix, mix, mix to start to combine those clumps and get a smooth mixture. Then I'll add a little bit more henna like I did here. At this point, I've done this so many times I can eyeball how much my hair needs, because there have been times where I've run out of the mixture. So once I start to mix, I combine a little bit more powder and water until I get the amount that I need. So I make sure to repeat this process as needed. As you can see, it looks oh so appealing, but the results are totally worth it. So after I add a little bit more water, a little bit more henna, I mix until I get a smooth consistency. See if I need to add a little bit more powder on top. This process takes me about 20 minutes, which is why I call it my arm workout, but this is what I'm left with. This is about as smooth as I can get it without using any sort of tool. I still have a couple lumps here and there. A majority of the lumps also further dissolve as I let the henna sit, and by the time it's ready for me to apply, they're very easy to smooth through my hair. So I put it in a plastic container to prevent it from drying out and let the color develop. I let it sit for about 7 hours, but you can play around with the time depending on the type of henna that you have. Usually the better quality the henna, I heard, the less time it needs to develop. So I don't need the 7 hours, but that time affords me the opportunity to run any errands while it's kind of sitting there doing its thing, getting the color ready, detangle, shampoo, and prep my hair. And speaking of detangling, I don't know if you guys have noticed in this video right now, but my hair has a new detangling routine that I tried out for this color application, and I am very excited and cautiously optimistic. We will be talking all about it. If you know my detangling woes, you can probably guess what new thing I have done to my routine today, but video coming very soon. So if you're new to henna, it's really important to give the mixture time to sit and develop. There are some things you can do to speed up the process, but I just like to let it just sit and hang out for a few hours to get the maximum color and benefits. To detangle, I use this conditioner from Shea Moisture, their Bamboo Charcoal Balancing Conditioner, the African Pride Pre-Shampoo, my little slip in a jar, which I've been using for years and absolutely love. Also use this Sultanicals Aquamarine to detangle, which did a really nice job. Next step in the process is a deep cleansing shampoo. I like to use black soap shampoos. I usually use that OK brand, but I decided to try this one from Eco Slate instead just to mix things up. So with the henna application process, I've already detangled, shampooed, and I go right in on my crown area because that is where my grays are most prominent, as you guys saw earlier in the video. Where my hair parts naturally is where they like to multiply and stick up a lot. So I go right in before I break my hair down into smaller sections, right on top there where my grays tend to be the most noticeable. Super generous with this process, which is why I made sure to whip up a nice hefty batch of henna. I have a lot of hair, very thick hair, and it's really important for me to make sure that every square millimeter is completely covered. What I like to do is I'll do an application of the henna, make sure that I smooth it in very well to make sure that everything is covered, and then I'll go in with another layer of henna until my hair is super saturated. I'm talking, I want to see it almost like dripping off my hair saturated. That way I can ensure that each square, everything is completely covered, and also the henna is able to really like cake onto my hair while I sleep. I leave this on for about 8 hours minimum, however long I'm sleeping. On a good night, it's 8 hours. On for upwards of 11 hours just until I get like the motivation to actually rinse and do my hair. I haven't found any ill effects. Henna is really beneficial for my hair. I've been using it now for I think over 3 years, and it's done a really good job at, as I mentioned, coloring my hair, but also in giving me some really nice benefits also. And it is very messy. If this is your first time dabbling with henna, I definitely suggest using a t-shirt that you don't care about anymore. This is now my designated henna t-shirt because it is just destroyed after this session. Make sure to put some towels underneath you. Wear gloves because the first time I did this, I didn't, and it stained my nails for months. No amount of scrubbing and washing could get that henna off. So gloves are a must for me now. I make sure to part my hair into small sections because, as I mentioned, since my hair is so thick, there are times where I've missed a big old section of hair and I don't want to do that. So now I make sure to further divide so that I can get everything, twist up the section, and then just do a big application on a section and then just break it down into smaller sections to make sure I haven't missed anything. And you can also use some type of like Vaseline or a hair oil around the perimeter of your hair. As I mentioned, this doesn't stain anything but my nails. It doesn't stain my skin, but it just helps things to not be quite as messy. You can just wipe it off very easily. But usually what I'll do is when I move on to the next section of my hair, I will actually just scoop up the henna on my face, on my hair, and that does a pretty decent job of cleaning it up. But if you want to make things a little less messy, as I mentioned, Vaseline, a hair butter, hair oil around the perimeter of your face works well. You can also use a little applicator brush that I like to really just get in there with my fingers to make sure I'm getting all of my hair. Smoothing, and smoothing some more, getting those ends. My ends feel a lot smoother and stronger after henna, so I like to really make sure to cake it on there as well. Does an awesome job. And my ends, even though I just did a trim, have not been feeling good. I think I have a little bit of hair damage. I haven't been wanting to say that out loud on YouTube, but I think that I do. So I'm going to be doing whatever I can to just get things back on track. It may be because, again, my hair has been stretched out with those protective styles for the majority of the summer, and it just needs to kind of find its way again. But my roots look really good, but certain other sections don't. So whatever I need to do to kind of get things back on track, that is definitely part of the game plan, and henna is a huge part of that process. And I'm really looking forward to seeing what benefits my hair might have from this new detangling routine too. I I am very impressed. As you can see, I'm able to get to my roots very easily. Usually they're very tangled and matted even after detangling, but they are so much easier to maneuver with this mixture this time around. So very impressed overall. So I can't wait to talk to you guys about it. Making sure again to just smooth that crown area where I have the majority of my grays. the temples as well. I have little grays here and there like to pop up, so get that area. This also looks really, really pretty when I'm parting my hair on the side as well. So I really concentrated on the front sections of my hair where it's going to be most visible with different styling options. The henna, I absolutely love the red tones that it gives my hair and those little fiery highlights. But some people want the strengthening benefits of henna and they want to color their hair, but they don't want to deal with the red. So definitely do your research because there are things you can add to your mixture to have it more closely match your natural hair color while also covering grays. So when it comes to henna, do not enter into it lightly because this is a permanent process. Henna is always on your hair. You have to grow it out. I've read one story of someone going to a salon and going through a very intense process to try to strip it off their hair, but it's a lot. So if you want to use henna on your hair, keep that in mind because if you want to, for example, put a permanent color over it, a semi-permanent color, it may interact very, very badly. So I entered into using henna knowing that I wasn't going to be using any sort of commercial hair color and that this was going to be my sole color agent pretty much. So, with anything when it comes to putting on your hair, your body, but especially this because it is permanent, make sure that you do your research because although it is Ayurveda, although it is natural, it is something that is going to be just on your hair for the long haul until you cut it. Moving on to my next section over here. I am halfway done and the application process is going a lot smoother also because my hair is so thoroughly detangled. It is wonderful. It is so good. The henna also is very smoothing to my cuticle, which naturally is very coarse and raised. So, as I mentioned, the color, the other benefits makes this a vital, vital part of my hair routine. And then when I'm all done, I put it into mini, mini shower caps and I go to sleep, leave it in for a minimum of 8 hours. And the next day it's time to rinse things out. So I make sure to rinse with clear water at first before adding any other product just to get the bulk of the henna out before adding a cheapy drugstore conditioner. This time I'm going to be using this Garnier Fructis smoothing treat. I like to use this type of product like a nice, thicker, gloppy conditioner to adhere to my strands. Conditioner helps to remove bits of henna that water alone just can't get out of my hair due to the thickness and also because of the amount of henna that I use. Again, I like to really coat my hair, so there's a lot in there. So the conditioner makes a huge difference in being able to get as many little particles as possible. And not only that, but henna is not a moisturizing treatment. It is known for its strengthening benefits. I use it for those same benefits, and a lot of people say that this process can be a bit drying to their hair and I've experienced that as well. So before, when I would not use a conditioner, I could definitely tell a difference. So the conditioner not only helps to further get the henna out of my hair, on rinsing, it seems to further increase the smoothing effect of henna and leaves my hair feeling nice and soft. So I get the best of both worlds. And I really am generous with the conditioner as well. I started with a full jar at the beginning and now I am done with this. So it will be making an appearance in next week's empties video. And it's a great way to use up conditioners that you're not a fan of. So I've used quite a few during this same process, and they've come in clutch for getting the henna out of my hair and giving me like a little dash of moisture, whereas on a regular wash day, they just couldn't cut it. So I let the conditioner sit for about 10 minutes and rinse that out, and these are my final results. My curls look so lively, juicy. I got my color all nice and refreshed. I feel like henna also gives me a little bit of extra bonus shine as well. Helps it to decrease frizz a little bit at my roots. And I usually like to show you guys what the color looks like, but it was gray outside on the day where I filmed this. So I have a little bit of a snippet to show you at the very end to show you the tint. But overall, as you can see, my hair is still my natural dark hair color. I still have some of those particles. Ugh, that's going to be fun to be playing around with over the next week. But usually the color develops a lot more over the coming days. I usually just apply one or two products to style so that I don't kind of like overwhelm the color while it's trying to develop. But these are my results outside. As you can see, it really pops on those grays and it gives my hair like a little auburn tint overall. It's subtle, but it's really, really beautiful. And when I straighten my hair, it looks so, so pretty. The color really shines then. I've got some extra smoothness on my cuticle. Just the benefits are just so many. Henna is such an important part of my hair routine. And this is my hair with no product in it. I haven't put anything in there yet, so just I'm just staring at those little particles, y'all. But I won't have to deal with that anymore after this session. My little orange little friends over in the front there. So I really hope that you guys enjoyed this henna video. Let me know if you are a fan of henna, if you've ever thought about using it, your experience. I would love to know. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you very soon in my next video. Take care, everyone. Thanks again. Bye.